Yeah, so Jokic has been cooking. He put up 61 against Minnesota the other day. It's his highest scoring triple-double. Ant acknowledged he's the best basketball player he's ever seen besides himself. But the big story of that game was Russ kind of choking there at the end. He got the steal, smoked the layup, and then fouled the three-point shooter at the end.
Yeah, and then last night smoked another layup with a few minutes left in the game they needed that they lost to the Spurs. So we'll get to Joker in a second. I don't take joy in being right on this, but of course anyone that has spent a season watching late stage Russell Westbrook play for teams with championship aspirations, all of them knew and all of them thought it would be different for them until they realize it's not. I was one of those people once. So here's the deal. Russell Westbrook, over the last nearly full decade, has been totally unable to contribute to winning basketball. And 4 contenders have been like, we can change him. And all 4 contenders were wrong. So he leaves the Thunder and they pair him with James Harden for a Rockets team that thinks they can win the championship. Just a year and a half removed from winning 65 games and taking the Durant Warriors to a Game 7 in the conference finals. And it, of course, goes terribly. They divorce after 1 year. He's brutal in the playoffs. And then he goes to the one place that the Russell Westbrook experience made sense was Washington. Because Washington's like, hey, man, car keys are yours. We would just love to win 40 games. And Russ delivers. Averages another triple-double. It's all Russ all the time. Gets him into the playoffs. And then in those playoffs, you're going to be like, oh, what did he do in the playoffs? He averaged another triple-double. In the playoffs, he shot 33% from the floor. And they lost in 5. Then the Lakers were like, we can change him. And the Lakers missed the playoffs the 1 year he's there in full, have to get off him, and promptly make the conference finals without him. The Clippers, we can change him. And with the Clippers, they're like, oh, he's better here. He's accepted his role. And in his one full season with the Clippers, they make the playoffs. And in those playoffs, he plays 19 minutes a game, averages 6 points on 26% from the field, 23% from 3, and they move off him. And then the Nuggets, we can change him. It'll be different here. And the playoffs are approaching. And you got a little sneak preview of what to expect. And again, I take no pleasure in this because I have such respect for Russell's career and the way he approaches playing hard at all times. What I do take a little pleasure in is Nuggets fans who got a little chesty at the beginning of the year, DeMonte. A lot of, do a Twitter search for these 3 nouns. Jokic, LeBron, Russ. And see how many tweets pop up from November and December along the lines of, oh, why couldn't LeBron get out of Russ what Russ Joker is? What? Well, why? Russ got blamed for everything in LA, but put him with a guy like Joker and look at, guys, this train is never late. It's never late.
think Russ
And
also has like lost a lot of his athleticism, and I think that's kind of like, oh well, that's obvious. He's getting older, but like or on that layup that he smoked, I was telling Daniel like a few years ago, Russell was dunking that, man. I just
yes,
feel like it's a little late.
that's exactly right.
Just a
By the
little
way, that's another time where the exact take you gave was the exact take, and this is a compliment that Brew gave yesterday.
Oh, hell
which
yeah.
is that was it might have been Wild's one of them, but either way, it was
Oh, yeah, get me
that
on the
used to
show.
be a dunk and it's not anymore. You're on this one. And so and it there what it in life, what awesome is what often is your greatest asset becomes your greatest liability. Russ going one speed at all times. Russ, playing a certain way. Russ's relentlessness is what made him him. And now it's what makes him a total liability to winning basketball. Also, by the way, to winning basketball. And it's a disaster. The Nuggets aren't deep enough to be able to just put him on ice. But man, oh man, like I don't know. I don't know how you can put him in critical playoff games. And here's the other piece of it. I thought of that sequence, DeMonze. The missed layup was the least of the problems. Missed layups happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bigger problem that after missing the layup in a 1-point double overtime game with 10 seconds left, he stood under the basket, arms up, whining for a beat, which then allowed the Timberwolves to get the advantage. And obviously, the worst part of the play was not only did he foul a three-point shooter, he fouled a three-point shooter, DeMonze, on a fake contest.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of those, oh man, I almost
He was already
blocked
up in the
it and
air.
instead I hit him. No, I mean, it was a fake contest. And then, I don't know if you saw Rob Perez's video. Then when he's leaving the court.
With the fan?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
buddy, like.
Man, I feel Russ is it's unfortunate, man. Why do they leave the camera on the man's face for so long when they make a mistake?
Well, it's the drama. I mean, that's how. I get that.
It's like this is the guy that messed up, but yeah, he's got to stop chirping the fans. You screwed up, and the fans are gonna
Like
chirp.
Now, listen. If it comes out the fan, dropped a slur, then of course, whatever. But my feeling was it wasn't that.
No, Russ is going up there just off of Westbrook.
Yes, Westbrook, exactly. Exactly. And so, like, it's a tough. Now, our resident Nuggets fan, Daniel, I still believe in Russ. Good luck with that, man.
What do you say?
Since, again, Westbrook, this decade, guys, it's 2025. This decade in the playoffs, 37% from the field, 27% from three. 3.5 turnovers a game in 31 minutes. Can't win that way. You just can't. And so, rough spot. I know you have some follow-ups here. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, even with Russ playing the way he is, could you still consider counting out the Denver Nuggets with Jokic being on the team?
No. So listen, that's the shame of it, is Jokic has one of the greatest games in NBA history, and it gets squandered. Now, again, I saw Luka last year have a 73, 10, and 7. And then all year long be 4th or 5th in the standings and be ineligible for MVP. So I'm not doing another MVP thing. Shea's team might win 70 games. He's going to win the scoring title. We are. If we want to here's the deal. Nugget fans, if you make up this petition, I'll sign it. If you would like to retroactively give last year's MVP to Luka so Joker can win this year, I'm all for it. But last year, the argument against Luka was Joker's team has the best record. He's averaging, Joker's averaging damn near, his numbers are great, even if they're not quite as good as Luka's, but it's contributing to winning more. And last year, Joker was the better defender than Luka. It's got to be Joker, and Luka ended with 4 first-place votes. You can't then use all of your Joker arguments from last year this year and not end up with Shea. The logical consistency of the last 2 years voting would either go Luka last year, Joker this year, or Joker last year, Shea this year. Joker already won last year, so it's Shea's. Now, is Joker the best player in the league? Yes. Is Joker the only person, and this is what Nuggets fans should take pride in, is Joker the only person you could put on that Nuggets team and they would have any chance of winning the championship? Yes. He's the only guy in the league. And they do have a chance. Not a good chance, but they do have a chance. The standings, are we going to get to the standings later in the show?
Not really.
No. So I'll do it here. Those 2 losses, however, because they lost again last night. Now, they sat everyone. By the way, I should have put this out. Our friends at DraftKings might have been annoyed with me, but I should have put it out. I gave it to Hubs. Yesterday, at 1 p.m., the money line for the Spurs were 10-point dogs, and they were plus 380 on the money line. And I said to Hubs, I was like, this line is acting like Joker's going to play. I don't think he is. He's played 53 minutes the night before. And Joker then got announced as out. The line dropped to damn near a pick'em, and the Spurs won. So shout out to anyone who sniped that, because that, to me, I just couldn't believe. We knew Jamal Murray wasn't going to be playing. I couldn't believe it. But here's the standings implication. Denver's now the 4. Again, some time left. Not a lot, though. 5 games left. Houston sitting at 27 losses. The Lakers, and at this point in the season, guys, just count losses. You can make up wins. You can't make up losses. So don't talk about games back, any of that. Count the losses. That's what matters. Oklahoma City, pretty comfortable with 12 losses. Unbelievable. Houston's at 27 and clinched their playoff spot last night. The Lakers are at 29. The Nuggets are at 30. The Warriors are at 31. Minnesota is at 32. And the 2 play-in teams that are good, the Clippers and well, I don't know if they're good, but that are above 500, the Clippers and Grizzlies are at 32. So, Houston, safe from the play-in, barring, safe from the play-in entirely, because they clinched their division. Does that keep you safe from the play-in? I'm pretty sure it does. But here's what I will say about Houston. Houston's next 5, or final 5, Demonze, Thunder, Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets.
Yeah.
So anybody that has some doubts is Houston. Well, it's all the teams they could play in round 1 of the playoffs, except for the Thunder, obviously. Can't play them. But yeah, I mean, we're going to find out over these next 5. The Lakers right now would give anything, Demonze, to freeze the standings.
Yeah.
Because, Denver, Golden State play each other in round 1, and the winner plays Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. If you froze the standings, the Lakers side of the bracket would be Minnesota and then Houston. Or I guess maybe the Clippers. The Lakers would love that road. I don't know that they'll get it, but it would absolutely love that road.
You too.
The Daniel asking if I would, like to face the size of the Timberwolves. Again, the West is a monster, and there's no easy outs right now except for Memphis. But Memphis is gonna, in my opinion, end up the 8 seed, so you're not going to be able to get Memphis. And yeah, I would take my chances. I don't want to face I don't want to face Denver or Golden State immediately. And I love the idea of being on the opposite side of OKC. Like, again, I think the Lakers can win the whole thing, but it doesn't mean all paths are created equal. I'll tell you who Denver doesn't want to face. Denver would be fine with the Warriors. I think they've beaten the Warriors 9 straight games. Denver doesn't want to face Minnesota, who has now beaten them 6 games in a row. Swept them this season and then beat them games 6 and 7 of the playoffs last year.
Would you give them the benefit of the doubt? If they were in a series, you're taking Minnesota. I'd take it.
You have to pick Minnesota.
Right.
Minnesota's won 6 straight. They've won 6 straight against them.